While we're no strangers to role changes in Star Wars, this one puts a different light on The Mandalorian. Welcome to Star Wars Uplink. So, Hasbro has been going around and they've been releasing a lot of figures. Now, what does this have to do with lore? Well, on the listing, and I think it was on a StarWars.com posting, they listed the figurine of Mandalorian Din Djarin as a former lone bounty hunter. I believe that is the exact statement. And I want to talk about how this is changing the idea of the Mandalorian. Din Djarin, he was introduced to us as a bounty hunter, and that is what we know of him as. As recent as Mando Season 2.5, Book of Boba Fett, he was actively in the bounty hunter life. And now it seems like he is shifting to being an unofficial member of the New Republic and the Rangers of the New Republic.
Oh, huh. Yeah, okay.
I want to talk about how we feel about this.
Yeah.
Because this is a different change. And we've seen a lot of role changes in Star Wars. We've seen characters grow and evolve. But I think this one's interesting because the main defining factor of Din Djarin was that he was a bounty hunter. Like he was the new Boba Fett. Like that was the character that we knew him as. How do you feel about him going from bounty hunter to Ranger of the New Republic?
At first blush, Ranger of the New Republic sounds, I don't want to say commercial, but
clean?
It sounds so...
sterilized.
I wear a bow tie now, and I go to work with my briefcase, and it does not sound like the Din Djarin we know.
Yeah.
So it feels kind of out of the blue. Honestly, if I were to put like a label on it, I'd be more like Space Sheriff. Yeah,
that's the hope that I would like to see from him. I would much rather him go to Space Sheriff than this idea of a Ranger of the New Republic. I'd rather him be kind of the lone sheriff putting down law throughout the galaxy than the Ranger of the New Republic. 'Cause the Rangers of the New Republic that we see, they kind of are lame.
Yeah.
I like the one dude. He's great. But he doesn't strike me with overt confidence in his abilities, which I think is the point. When I hear Ranger of the New Republic, I'm like, ugh, these guys again? Come on. Seriously? And I think that's the whole point of them as characters. I don't think we're supposed to be like, yeah, Rangers of the New Republic, great. It's kind of like, oh, here we go again. They're going to try to get their hands in things and just step in the way of our characters that we know. And I think that's indicative of what the New Republic is, just in general. The New Republic is in this weird place where they're trying to go as far away from the Empire's way of thinking as possible. You say the Empire, you're going to get hushed out. Like that is what we know of as the New Republic, in at least as far as Mando Season 3 went, and even Ahsoka. And I don't want that to happen to Din. I think there is a danger of him becoming another Star Wars character. And what do I mean by that?
Yeah.
When we see Din Djarin in the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, he is Din Djarin. He is this new type of character in this classic way of storytelling. And then we get to season 3 of The Mandalorian, and he goes into standard Disney Star Wars dude.
Yeah.
And I hope we don't see more of that, but it kind of feels like they're going to do more of that with this change.
I think they would put it as character growth, but I don't know if it is. It feels like they're just shoving him into a mold that we've seen over and over and over and over again.
Perfect. He's gotten to this point. Let's throw him into the mold that we know of. When Luke Skywalker goes through his whole training, he officially becomes part of the rebellion. And then after the rebellion wins, he gets put into this position where he is more of like, instead of fighting evil across the galaxy, he's more of a school teacher than anything.
Yep.
Which is not bad. I just think it's fine if we have a couple characters like that throughout the galaxy, but I don't think we need every character to be like that.
No.
And I'm not saying that character growth for a character like Din Djarin is bad. Honestly, no. I want to see as much character growth in a story as possible. But in this case, it feels like they're regressing in certain aspects, or they have the potential to regress into certain aspects.
Yeah, I think in the act of growing him into this father figure, they're just gonna stop there. Like, that's what my fear is that we've got him up to this point where everyone loves him. He's got Grogu. He's doing the dad thing. That's great. We don't want to touch him anymore. Like, we like where he's at. Like, they're just going to stop. Like, he's going to stop being this really interesting three-dimensional character that we've all grown to love. And he's just going to end up being the dad and the kind of cool guy with the guns that sheriffs
go into
the space.
one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's not that I don't want character growth. I want them continuing to grow the character. I don't want them to like, oh, we've hit the spot. Perfect. We don't have to do anything else. And I feel like they did that with Ahsoka. Like they did all of the character growth and development of Ahsoka during the Clone Wars. Yeah. And then as soon as she hit that one point in Rebels, it's like, this is just who she is now. She's never going to grow as a character ever again.
Oh, it's true. Oh, that's sad. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the fear. I feel like they get the characters to this one point, and like as soon as you become good, that's all you have to do. There's no continuing to work towards it. There's none of that. I would love to see Din Djarin go into this position where he has to make these hard decisions. Like he has to either fight his instincts of being that bounty hunter, or he has to lean into it in certain situations to make it out. And I think that would be interesting to see of like, what is a hero that has come from this like grit and dirt and like this from the ground up experience. What does it look like for that character in Star Wars to continue to grow and find their place and not always finding it?
It makes me a little worried that they would literally put on an action figure box former bounty hunter. Was that it? Was that all they put on there?
It was former lone bounty hunter. So maybe it's that he is still a bounty hunter. He's just now with his little buddy Grogu. There's a bunch of different things. A lot of the stuff that we're talking about is hypothetical because we don't have the details. We don't know. We probably won't know until Mandalorian Season 4 if that ends up still being a thing, or ultimately the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. But there's a lot of opportunities for them to kind of do what we've seen from them. And again, there's opportunity for them as directors and writers to grow and improve and get their own character development. But from what we've seen so far, there's this very typical growth prospect that they have where you start with this character and the end goal is this, and as soon as you hit to this, you focus on something else.
My worry is that they'll start focusing on Grogu more than Din Djarin.
Which would be such a shame because he's cute and all, but like he can't speak. Yeah. And he's 50-something years old, but he's like the emotional equivalent of a toddler. When you have this character of Din, who is in the perfect opportunity for him to grow as a character. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities here. We'll see where it goes, but I am slightly worried with this change of character. Again, this is all hypothetical. Who knows what is actually going to happen? But from what they've shown in the past to what they've shown now might go exactly the way of Ahsoka. A lot of people love Ahsoka's storyline, but I'm not as impressed with it in this live action space. And that's not Rosario Dawson's role at all. Like, she does the good job of playing that character. It's the writing. So hopefully we get some character growth, make them a little dirty, make them a little rough around the edges so you can find that over time. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below and check out our podcast. As always, may the Force be with you.